So this is Mrs. Thatcher's War solitaire game, the last in the three games of the series. We have the main the three main play areas. You have the strategic map here, the East Falklands map, and a chart and tables, and then you have the detailed sequence of play and player aid. And this is the setup for the game. It has turn track here, up to 19 turns. And so that's the first view. So on to turn. So this is the start of the fifth turn in Mrs. Thatcher's War. So far what's happened is not much at all, because the first turn, Gales, so skip turn, we had 2 turns with fair and rain, and then this turn had squalls, so no air, and this started the turn on weather, also has squalls, so there's no air things, so that's like half of the things you have to do for the turn can't be done, and we're waiting until turn 7 to land troops, but with very few turns of doing anything and trying to figure out what I need to do, things are kind of slow. The BBC marker has been bouncing back and forth. Argentina's have lost a few air units through combat and events. Not much else is happening here. Lots of groups here for air. Groups come out, the air hasn't been coming out, so it's kind of like not much is happening. Carriers are trying to pick off the groups to prevent them from putting air units over the Falklands and in numbers, because you can shoot them down and put them in the repair box when they're flying over the Falklands, so it will slow down the number of aircraft that can be put out, which is good for when the troops do land. But this is really a race against time, because if the constant weather is bad, like landing troops and trying to take objectives is going to be pretty problematic. So onward. Well, turn 5, since I already rolled the weather, is no air, so this is going to be a quick one. So I got 2 turns before I can start landing troops in the San Carlos area. So, and if you don't have basically Stanley area by turn 19, you lose. I haven't found anything else that would end the game like losing the Battle of Trafalgar and the invasion of Britain. So this is really a timed play. So this is the start of turn 9. They had fair weather. The British were able to land the last turn. Turn 7 they couldn't do it because the weather was too clear. There's the groups. And pretty much quiet, but actually the Exocet ammo is dropped considerably, and the BBC News is holding high at the moment, but the Argentinians in Stanley have moved out those tracks. So basically we're 10 turns to the end. So I gotta get the British all the way over there in 10 turns. We'll see if it can go. So this is the start of turn 14. 13 was Gales, no turn for that one. 11 and 12, it was no air, so the British were able to move up here and take Darwin. They moved up, got the Welsh Guards in, and also, but also the Argentinians have been moving forward. And not much on the strategic map. It's been happening with no error each turn, but we're getting close to the end of the game with only basically 6 turns to get all the way over to Stanley. I don't think I'm going to make it with this weather issues because turn 16 through 19 the weather gets even worse because the weather rolls change through those. So we'll see if I can win the Falklands. So this is the start of turn 18. Things are a bit better for the British. They are pushing into the victory conditions close to Stanley, but with 2 turns left. But the morale tanked because through an air battle here, they killed the escorts and really caused some serious damage. But the Argentinians have no more air, really. They're really having problems with keeping the Air Force up. So we'll see if the last 2 turns happens, unless it's Gales for the last 2 and the game ends. So this is a game loss. I didn't have wireless ridge here. On the last turn they were able to take these 2 positions pretty much down to the wire. The weather here was squalls, so no air, so turn was pretty quick, but it was almost a gale and it would have completely skipped the final turn. The die roll was a 9 instead of anything higher. It would have been game over, even worse result than this. So that was pretty close, down to the wire. Nice little game. Yeah, so all 3 games pretty good.